Hey, you know it's Lexx.
What is good, YouTube? It's your girl Lex, back with another motherfucking video. And today, as you guys saw down by the title, I'm going to go over my tattoos and piercings and their meanings. This was a highly requested video. Cue the comments. And I'm gonna give the people what they want. So y'all ready? We are going to start with piercings first. So many of you guys are wondering, like, a pain scale 1 through 10. What was the process? What exactly happened? Why did I get it? When it comes to the piercings, to be honest, I wanted them, so I got them. I can't recall exactly the pain scale to the T because I got these done literally years ago, guys. Years ago. How do you guys like this up close and personal? I currently have 11 piercings. We're gonna go over the 11 that I have, and then I'm gonna tell you what I used to have and why I took them out. First runner up is the industrial. They don't hurt. I've had them for years. They're completely healed. I also have my daith and then my tragus pierced. I have my first hole and second hole. I have the exact same over here. I have the first hole, second hole, tragus, and then my daith pierced. I used to have my cartilage up here pierced. I honestly don't even know what happened to it. I think it fell out in like my sleep or something, and then I didn't realize it until the hole was closed. I have my nose pierced, and of course my septum, as you guys saw in the last video. I also used to have snake eyes, which was a tongue piercing going through the tip of your tongue. It was cute as shit, and I just took them out because I was afraid for my teeth, to be honest. I had my snake eyes for 8 years, and then I took it out. I would find myself like biting on it just throughout the day, just sliding the ball in between my teeth, playing with it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, there's been times where I eat. It didn't happen often because it just became a part of me. I got used to it, but it would be times where I would eat and I would sometimes bite on it, and I chipped my tooth right here. Like, you see how this tooth is all square? And this one is like slanted right here. It's not a big deal, which, thank God, but it could have been. And once that had happened, I was just like, you know, and it's like, I don't want to mess up my smile because I'm so busy trying to have a look. So I took that out. I actually took that out recently. I took that out about 2 months ago. Okay, so just freaking great timing for this video, right? That would have been so cool to have in this. Also, I did get my tongue pierced, I believe, when I was 16. I had it the straight up and down. So those are my piercings for right now that are just up here. Like I said, I had my tongue pierced. They were not pierced straight up and down and sideways at the same time. I had the one straight up and down. I left that in for about a year, 2 years, took that out, and then I had that one for 8. Okay, so now I'm gonna back up a little because we're real close. Okay, I love y'all, but like, we're a little close. All right. Now, for the piercings that I used to have, I'm gonna try to go through my photos, and if I can find one with that piercing, I will try to insert those into these clips, but if not, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I'm sorry. I had my nipples pierced. That honestly did not last long. For one, it's like they never healed. I don't know if it's because I am a bra girly. I never went braless. And so maybe the rubbing against my bra just caused too much irritation. I'm not sure, but they never healed. Also, I believe that they advise you to do like a hoop or almost kind of like my septum type of a jewelry instead of a barbell. And I didn't know that until years later. And when I had them done, I got them initially pierced, and what I kept throughout my entire journey was a barbell. And that barbell would rock back and forth. It would get crusty on the ends, and then my bra would shift it and push it through, and it would rip open. It was like, not rip open like through my nipple, but just the little healing spot that scabbed over that was trying to do what it could. It just was a downhill freaking battle. Okay, so that was why I had took them out, but honestly I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter a little after that. I would have had to take them out regardless because I chose to breastfeed.
Moo, I'm a cow.
So there is that. I also had my belly button pierced. That was extremely fun. I took that out because I got pregnant, and I know that they have like the flexible rod bar that you could put in there while you're pregnant, but it just wasn't that important to me. I want a big family. What makes sense to me is just go ahead and pop my kids out and then get it re-pierced. I do not plan to re-pierce my nipples for the reasons of excruciating pain and the non-healing, and also, to be completely honest with you guys, sexual desires. I feel like they get in the way for me personally, and also because it just never healed for me, my boobs were off limits. That's not fun for anyone, okay? So yeah, there's that. I do want to get my cartilage re-pierced up here. I told you guys, I don't know what the heck happened to that. I actually just ordered some new jewelry. I love my heart dace, and I actually used to have heart tragus piercing, and I'm not even sure what the hell happened to those either. It's like, I don't know, I brush my hair, they get stuck. It wasn't the screw-in ones. It's the one that you just push into the tube, and I would lose those like crazy. The new ones that I just ordered, they are hearts. They are diamond hearts, and they're fairly small. They're about this size also, but they actually screw into the tube, and that is what I'm going to replace these two with, so that way they can match. Now for the ratings, even though I probably should have did this as I went through, I didn't think about that until now. Yeah. So sorry, bear with me. First off, the piercing that hurt the worst for me out of everything was this bad boy right here. This one, not my septum. This was a piece of cake. This right here, honey. I don't know if it's because my nose has got like some thicker meat or what, honey, but this shit, they could have kept that. But the pain, yeah, somebody else. No. Back to the starting point. The industrial. If I recall, I feel like my pain was probably at a 6.5. Guys, it's been so long. If I recall right, the second hole hurt more than the first. And I don't know if that's because I had so much adrenaline, because I always overhype myself when I get a piercing. Why? I don't know. I just do. So maybe that's why the first one wasn't that bad. But if I recall, it was the second one, because I was like, oh, damn, like I gotta do this again. And I kind of let myself down, because I was like, okay, well, that one didn't hurt so bad. And then when he did that one, I was like, okay, that one, okay, all right. So yeah, I'd say about a 6.5 if I recall, maybe a 7. 6.5 on the bottom, 7 on top. Next is my day. That was a piece of cake. Honestly, I would rate that maybe 4 or 5. Like seriously, just a disclaimer. I have a very, very high pain tolerance, so what is a piece of cake to me may not be for the next. And if you choose to go get any of these piercings, please understand that you are doing this at your own discretion. You know what you could take and you know what you can't, and don't go getting yourself in a hot bucket of water because you think I said so. Anyway, same thing with the tragus. Tragus was super easy. So, mini story time. I went to American Pride Tattoo. They had a sale, their famous Friday the 13th, free piercing, you just pay for jewelry. And when I tell you, me and my coworker went crazy. I really was the one who went crazy. I went fed. When I hear sale, I'd be like, oh, honey, take my money. Here's my wallet. What you want? You want card, cash? What do you take? Cash out? I got that too, boo. Let me know. And that's what I did. I went bonkers. So I did I got that done too. I am full of holes. Needless to say, my ears are killing me. I got my tragus, I got my daith, I got this tragus and daith, I got this pierce, my cartilage, my top cartilage, and I think my belly button all at the same time. Like not same time, but same session, like back to back, nonstop. I like literally just hole after hole after hole. And then I came out like this. Daith, I'd say, was about a 7.5. Tragus was a piece of cake. Tragus was really quick through and through. The daith was kind of like he pushed up in the middle and then had to carry it out on the other side. So it was like, I don't know, but that double push was, I'd say maybe an 8. So maybe an 8 here. Tragus was a 6. This down here, honestly, I don't know the pain tolerance for this because I've had this pierced since I was a baby. My second holes were, I actually got these pierced with a gun at the mall at a store called Banters, and that was pretty quick and easy too. I say maybe a 5, maybe if that. Guys, this stuff doesn't hurt for me. My cartilage up here, that actually didn't hurt bad at all. I'd say maybe a 6, and that's a maybe. My septum, I just recently got that pierced. That was a piece of cake, and like I mentioned, I don't know if it's because I overhyped myself or what, but that was nothing. Also, I saw somebody comment that they want me to explain the whole procedure and process of my septum. I'm just gonna go ahead and explain the process for every piercing piercing because they're all the same. So they wipe down the area, usually with the alcohol pad, just to sterilize the area. They go through with a needle. It's a hollow needle, and except for my bottom piercings, okay guys, remember I said that they use a piercing gun for these two, but the rest, however, this is how it works. They pierce you with a hollow needle. So after they wipe you down and sterilize you in whatever area you're getting it pierced, they will take a pen, not a pen that you write with, it's almost like a felt tip marker, just to mark where your piercing spot is going to go. They have you look in the mirror, confirm that that's where you like it. If not, they wipe it, redo it until you find your spot. Usually they hit the nail spot on the first time, and then when they are about to pierce, they will have the needle in front of whatever area, let's say your ear here. This area caused for clamps, okay? They look like tongs, like almost like what you would use for the grill, but just a smaller version. They apply it to the area, and then they ask you to take a deep breath, and when you inhale, that's when you think that they're going to put it through, and it's not. It's when you exhale. So, and right at the brink where you're about to exhale is when they push that bad boy through. Honestly, it helps mentally because you're so focused on breathing out, and those nerves that you have kind of subside in the same moment that they push you through. And it happens so quick. You're sitting there and you're just like, is that it? That's done? Wow. Okay. All right. There you go. If I can recall correctly, my tragus on both sides, obviously, they used some clamps. They used clamps for my tongue this side, and then the guy used a clamp for my tongue this way. He turned it sideways, like this, and then fed it through. Now, my tongue piercing sideways, that wasn't bad. What made it bad for me, I'm not sure if my piercer, if that was a new piercing for my piercer, or if he just didn't have a good grip on the needle, I'm not sure. Instead of just going all the way through, he pushed it through, stopped, pushed it through, stopped, pushed it through, stopped. And it wasn't exactly stop, push it through as I'm saying it, it's just the motion that he did. And it felt like a zipper, like on your coat. That's what I felt. I felt the needle tear through every single layer of my tongue as it went through because it was a jerking motion. It wasn't a smooth follow through. That is what made the piercing go from what could have been a 6 to a 8.5. I took it like a G, like I always do. And that's what happened with that. The piercing up and down, same thing. The only thing I will say is well, maybe not you, but I'll speak for me. I drooled so bad. He'll lift up the tongue, drop it down to make sure that the dot on the top matches the dot on the bottom, but it's not too close to your web, which is this. That is your web. So they make sure it's not too close. So that way when you rest your tongue, it's not in the back. They also want to make sure they don't hit these two veins in your mouth. There's a lot going on in there. So he's constantly lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Mind you, they take a paper towel, you swish some non-alcohol mouthwash around in your mouth, and then they take like a paper towel, dry your tongue, make the 2 dots on there, do the whole little tongue thing, have you check in the mirror if it's where you want it. You do the whole woosah breathing. When you breathe out, that's when he goes through. That was actually extremely quick for me, and it did not hurt. I actually have a video when I was 16. I will insert that. It is so cringe. Okay, so cringe because I look like a 9-year-old.
Rinse and spit right back in the cup for me. How old are you?
16.
Sit out your tongue. You see the bottom. Awesome. Sit your tongue all the way out. Perfect. Close your eyes for me. Slow down. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it out very slow. Take another nice deep breath in. Out very slow. How do you feel?
I love chocolate.
Probably. One quick bath off.
It didn't hurt. Probably recorded on a flip phone, to be honest, so the quality is shit, but I said I was gonna put in what I could. Now, my nipples, they're doing everything that they're supposed to. Nothing about this is sexual, but I'm just saying. They wipe your nipple down, they put the dots on both sides, and the next thing you know, they grab the clamps and they they do what they gotta do around your nipple, and then they go ahead and they push it through. That was pretty uncomfortable for me, especially I wasn't sitting straight up like this. He had me back in a chair. Women, you guys know, when you lay back, they go off to the side. So I'm just like, oh, one's over here, one's over there, how you doing, you know? And then the pain, oh my God, dude,
Ooh, wee.
Piercing that hurt the most, like I said, was definitely this. But when I tell you, honey, my nipples were a close a extremely close second, all right? My nipple is getting hard. It started to constrict like a cold ball sack on the barbell that just got pierced. And baby, let me tell you, that hurt. That hurt. That hurt like shit. It hurt like hell. It hurt like fuck. It hurt like every goddamn thing that you can think of. And then, you know, I don't think that's cute just to have the one pierce. So, you know, I had to do the other. And it's like the industrial. The first one was like, whew, okay, whatever. And then they go through and do the second one and it's like, oh my God. It hits twice as hard. Hey guys, it's Editing Lexx here, and I realized I had never incorporated any aftercare. I never really focused in on my septum. Wearing AirPods with all of my earrings in. Let's start with my septum. This does not hurt. It has been like literally a week since I've gotten it done to the date, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. The only thing I have noticed that will sometimes be a pain is the crusties that forms on the inside. It'll move like the horseshoe will move sideways, kind of like so. It'll do that. Or vice versa on the other side. And if there's a crusty and it moves, it snatches the crusty from the piercing location. That is what hurts. And it hasn't really happened so much anymore, but it usually is like in the morning before, you know, I shower and I clean it and everything. I notice sometimes a couple crusties, and if it gets moved or if I'm in my sleep and I turn my head into my pillow and it moves it, that can kind of be of an ouch. But the piercing, like I said, itself does not hurt at all. Feels like you got thumped extremely hard in your nose when he pierces it. It happens so quick. It's literally in and out. And for that 3 seconds of pain, you feel that super hard thump. For me, it was definitely a tear jerker. It wasn't so much the pain, it's just like I couldn't even fight it. I literally just had tears just rolling down my face, and my piercer was so sweet. He kept giving me paper towel to dab underneath my eyes because, as you guys saw in that video, I had my lashes done, and I guess that's a sensitive spot. That's a spot that is a tear trigger. As far as the after cleaning, this is the same thing that'll apply to pretty much every piercing that you get. You do not have to use this. I personally use two options. So my first one that I have always used was the good old sea salt, and just like a shot glass, fill it up with warm water, add your salt, dissolve the salt in it, and then I would tip my ear over and put it inside the shot glass like so. And then I would tip my ear back the other way and I would hold it on there, and then I would go in with a Q-tip afterwards, and I would wet that, add some antibacterial soap. You don't have to buy anything super fancy such as this piercing kit here. I actually recently got this when I got my septum because I didn't have any antibacterial soap at the time. So you don't have to go fancy. I promise you don't. You could grab some simple dial antibacterial soap and it works the same. And then, like I said, you just go in with a warm Q-tip and some antibacterial soap and you scrub inside and around the outside of your piercing. Same thing with any other piercing. Sea salt soak, or just even make the mixture and dip your Q-tip in it and you can clean around that. Now, as far as my nipples, because I realized I did not touch on that, same thing, warm water, salt, dissolve it. And then what I did was I put it on my boob, and then I would lay back in a chair, just like so. And I would just hold it on there. And then same thing, antibacterial soap, Q-tip, clean around the crusties. And with your nipples, you're gonna wanna do that about 3 times a day, because those are important, because that is a serious piercing right there, mama, okay? You could do the same thing once again for your septum. However, I did not this time around. I purchased this piercing kit. It was actually at the American Pride that I got my piercing from. It was right at the front and it did what it was supposed to do. It sold me. So this is what comes in it. Just these 3 things here. It comes with Piercing Care Cleansing Spray. You just take the top off. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I usually shake it up. And then I spray it in there, or you can spray it on a Q-tip and get in there. Me personally, I just sprayed this bad boy straight up my nostrils and cleaned it with a Q-tip. And then there are extra strength piercing aftercare swab. It is a Q-tip filled with this piercing care solution on the inside. You take one end and you snap it, and then the solution fills up inside the Q-tip, and pretty much it does exactly what I said to do with the spray that's on a Q-tip and clean it, except for these are more on the go. I would recommend just putting this in your purse, girl, but if you want to use it at home, by all means. Me personally, I would always do this in the shower. It was just easier to do it because it kind of makes a mess if you're all in the sink. But you know, you do you, boo. This is just antibacterial soap. Wow, I'm realizing all this stuff is out of focus. This is what the piercing care looks like. Here are your pre-filled Q-tip swabs. Like I said, as you can see on the back, you just snap it, it fills up, boom. So there's those. Here's your antibacterial soap. You can get fancy and clean your piercings, or you could stay on the cheaper end and do this. It literally all works the same. I promise. I also did not speak on tattoo care. You want to use an antibacterial soap to clean, and then afterwards you want to use a moisturizer. I have used this Hustle Butter. It's a little tiny jar, and she is empty. And it's because she works, okay? This is a before, during, and after tattoo cream. This time around, when I recently got my sunset palm tree tattoo, I had ordered another tattoo kit produced by Tattoo Goo from Amazon. And this is what it looks like on the outside of the box. And then it comes with antibacterial soap, same one from the piercing kit. It comes with tattoo care lotion, which looks like so. And it also comes with tattoo balm. It's like a little disc, looks like this. In the first couple days, I did use my tattoo goo, but then eventually I stopped because I began to peel. And this is more of a thick consistency, and you got to kind of rub it on there. And I feel like I was rubbing off the flakes that weren't ready to come off quite yet. So I used these the first couple days until I started to peel. I'm no longer flaking. Now I can start back applying this. But what I did do is when I was in the shower, I would wash whether I was peeling or not with the antibacterial soap. And then when I got out, I would use tattoo care lotion. I've got my AirPods. Yes, you can put them in with all your jewelry. I can now with no problem. They are in there just fine. They don't fall out. I can run, I can jump, I can hop on one leg. They're in there. They're just as it would be for you. I would not recommend this after you first get them done because it applies pressure on the fronts and backs of your piercing. So same thing whether you have both a Daith and a tragus or just one or the other, because I tried that and it definitely indeed hurts because my post is it hangs off in the back. And you got to push it forward so the back of the post lays flush against the inside of your ear. So I definitely would recommend get you some Beats, some headphones that can go over the cover. I'm getting more tattoos soon, and I'm going to make that into a video. So whatever you guys want to know, have further questions, want me to go further in depth in, write that down in the comments so I can address it in that video. I just had to pop in because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't talk about this. I didn't show this. Like, this matters. Y'all want a video about piercings, and you're going to come here, and I gave you a rating, what to expect, how they do it, and I didn't tell you how to clean it. Like, come on, girl. So now, let's move on to the tattoos. We're going to start from top to bottom. Okay, so first runner up, we have got my crown, and it is in red. For one, red is not my favorite color, though it would appear to be, but a lot of these tattoos, they are representation of me pulling through my story. Some of them kind of have the same meaning, but I got them for different times in my life and at different points in my story because of different things that were occurring, if that makes any sense. My crown is on my head because it represents to me, never let my crown fall. Pretty much indicating always remember who I am. Always remember you are that girl, okay, honey? And don't let nobody tell you different. You know what I mean? You can have your bad days, your down days, your lazy days, days where you aren't completely confident, but no matter what, keep that crown up. Sit with your head held high, take pride, and be you. And be the queen that you are. And that is what that tattoo means for me. I have this feather on my shoulder. I feel like a lot of these meanings are gonna sound so cliche. My meaning of my feather on my shoulder is to remind myself not to be so serious. I find myself so often getting wrapped up in life, making sure I hit certain milestones by certain times in my life, being extremely hard on myself. And I just need to remember, you know, live your life as light as a feather. You know what I mean? Where the wind blows, that's where you go. That's not to say YOLO and I just don't care about life and I'm just this free-spirited bird. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I know that some people are that way. It's just to remind me to be that way sometimes. So why am I trying to be in the driver's seat so badly? I'm not trying to be so in-depth about everything, but to an extent, it's like, that's why I got them. That's what they mean to me. So now moving on to number 3. I've got this dream catcher on my shoulder. This is my meaning. This is a dead flower, and it's starting to bloom again. That's what the blue is. That's why it's dark on the inside and the light color starting to show. Most people get the rose that grows through the concrete, and that's kind of what this is for me. I have been through a lot. I have been through things that you would never, ever, ever assume about me. For the longest, I felt like this dead flower. When I finally broke away from the mindset that I'm doomed and that this is my life, I started to see light at the end of the tunnel. And that is what prompted me to get this dream catcher, because it's like, you know, I'm aiming to catch those dreams, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and that's what this is. So, to tag along with this tattoo, I've got this. It's an anchor with birds. The chain is being set free pretty much from the anchor. That ties in with these two. And what that means is to let go and let God. It ties in because live life as a feather. You know what I mean? I can't always be in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? The big man has a plan for me. And no matter what that plan is I will make it there if it's destined for me. If it is for me, it'll be. Which leads me to my next tattoo. I've got a cross right here on my wrist. This isn't extremely sentimental. It is what it is. My belief in God. I am not extremely religious. I just have my own relationship with God. Your ring finger has a vein that flows through your arm into your heart. You do not have on your right arm. That is why you get married on this finger. Because that vein follows through my heart, I feel like so does God. Because I have God with me at all times. He's in me. It ain't on me. It's in me, baby. But seriously though, for real, you know, it's my contribute to God, I guess, in a way. When I pray, you know, my hands are together. He's here. It's just literally that. It's not anything extremely super deep, which I'm pretty sure you guys could appreciate because everything else is. This one isn't extremely deep either. But this is my daughter's name in the middle in pink. And then her date of birth in Roman numeral letters. Her name reads Olivia Nevea. Got her middle name because it is heaven spelled backwards. And to me, that is my little piece of heaven. That is my best friend. That is my baby.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end.
I could brag about her all day, every day, but that's not what we're here for. So let's just look at it and then move on. Moving on to my thigh piece that I got so many compliments on in my last video. I'm gonna stand up on this chair. Let's hope this is not an epic fail, you guys. The meaning of my butterfly is me blossoming into the new part of my life. This one is literally probably the most predictable. You know, they start off as a larvae, cocoon, all that good fun stuff, and hatch into a beautiful butterfly. I feel like I have officially spread my wings. I was able to fly. All kinds of crazy things have happened to me where I felt it was meant to hold me back, and now I see it was a part of my journey to make me into the person, the woman, the mother, the partner, the everything that I am today. It is my story. It is a piece of me. It is a part of me. And like I said, for so long, I thought it was weighing me down. You guys, I thought it was killing my dreams. And there was a time that it was. But there was also a time where that didn't matter anymore. I realized who I was, and I didn't use my story as a pity party. I used it to say I am not my story. That does not define me, you know? I cracked out of that cocoon and I turned into this beautiful fucking butterfly bitch, literally. Last but not least, as you guys saw in the previous vlog, but if you have not, that's what this video is here for. I've got this piece on my ankle. The meaning of this tattoo is not give up on my dreams. And I know it sounds crazy because I already have my dream catcher, but like I told you, my dream catcher was me blossoming. I was pretty much still half dead. I barely had like a mustard seed of freaking faith. As you see, there are palm trees, a sunset, and what is to be the ocean with birds flying. And for me, that is a representation of peace. I feel like I explained it so much better in the other video. That is just a reminder of my dream to not let that go. Do not let go of that sunset. Just because I'm not there yet doesn't mean it's not coming. I know it's gonna happen for me. It's just a matter of when it's gonna happen. You get me? So that is the first meaning of that tattoo. Number two, my mom passed away back in August of last year, 2023. She always wanted to move to Florida. Florida was her dream place. She spoke about it since I was a girl, and she never made it. She never made her dream come true. And for me, it doesn't have to be Florida. It's anywhere with a nice view where I feel I can call home. To an extent, I feel like I'm living out that dream for the both of us. Like I said, it doesn't have to be Florida, but I wanted to be able to say, you know, hey mom, I made it for the both of us. I want to make her proud. I want to make her happy. Yeah, that one definitely has a pretty hefty meaning, especially after the loss of my mom. It's time I accomplished my dreams doing something I love. That concludes this video. I hope I delivered. I hope that I answered any questions or anything that you guys were particularly looking for when requesting this video. Also, spoiler alert, if you guys are loving this look and want to know how I achieve it, stay tuned for next week because I'm dropping how I did this. I got you, girl. I thought about you. You're welcome. So if you guys made it to the end of this vlog, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you beyond measure. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Without further ado, I will see you next video. Bye guys, thanks for watching.
I want your heart.